Child marriage is a global issue fueled by gender inequality, poverty, social norms, and insecurity, and it has devastating consequences all over the world. I'm Nafisa. My teammate Nadia and I are looking into the opinions and views of the people in the campus locale regarding the social issue of child marriage.
Child marriage is technically those who are underage, in a way forced to marriage when they really have no idea or have like a vague idea of what it is.
There to be like an adult want to marry a child basically, like those underage, like under 18, all that. Yeah.
To me personally, child marriage is any form of marriage, formal or informal, that's under the age of 18, I would say.
I've never really been really outspoken about it, but still, I guess I'm against it.
An adult marrying a child, it's just not it. I feel like that is wrong.
I strongly oppose it, first of all. Child marriage not only robs a child of the normal, lively childhood self that they should be enjoying, but it also makes them privy to a lot of negative influences such as violence and abuse.
I don't think it's common, but I have seen one news, I think this year or last year, about a child marriage case somewhere in Sarawak, if I'm not wrong.
I would say maybe people in Kuala Lumpur, Selangor may have not had much of an exposure to such cases, but in my personal perspective, from what I've seen, it is pretty prevalent still in places such as Pahang, Sabah, Sarawak, and the likes.
Both of the parties were considered underage when the talk of marriage came about. They only got married literally after their SPM, like that. So that's one instance I know. I think it could be considered child marriage.
I have a friend whose relative's friend is actually a child bride. So in their experience, first of all, it was pretty traumatic growing up because as a child they had to uphold the obligations of marriage and the likes. Secondly, the partner that they were with was already a grown adult. So as a child, having to grow with a grown adult as your partner was something that really set her back in her early childhood. And not only that, but luckily the person that I'm mentioning hasn't had much of a negative experience. However, she has mentioned that abuse is really rampant in such cases.
If it's a culture thing, maybe you should make sure that the child is somewhat like around 16, because in my opinion 16 is an age where the children start to understand their decisions. They get a clear sense of what is right and wrong.
That Malaysia can put more restriction on age when it comes to marriage, because when it comes to marriage there's like a certificate, all this and that, right? So probably the government can do that to increase the age restriction.
Why such cases are prevalent still to this day is because of legal loopholes and not having a legal entity to represent your status of marriage. What happens particularly in places like Sabah, for example, is informal marriages are really rampant, and in informal marriages a lot of times they're not registered in papers. So Malaysia can actually enforce regulations on marriage and legalization of marriage in terms of law.
As we have observed from our interviews, there are mixed understandings and opinions on the issue of child marriage. Child marriage still remains rampant in nations across the globe, and we hope this issue will be addressed by lawmakers and taken more seriously by people. I'm Nadia. Thank you for watching.